Oh, okay. So let's proceed this way, shall we? So there's that spooky looking boar thing, which is quite the problem. Fighting it at this stage is not impossible, but it's a huge pain. But I'm going to show you a workaround in a quick moment. If we just step through here a little bit, we'll aggro a couple enemies so we can clear them out of the way real quick. Come on, you guys really are not in a hurry, are you? Today... Oh, I hit both of them with that. That was actually kind of lucky. Oh, he drank a flask. I just said drinked. He drank a flask. So yeah, you're not the only one who has an Estus flask. The enemies have them too. Although, they don't do them all that commonly. Like, it's relatively... It's not rare, but it's not common either. And they don't heal as much as I do. So with those guys out of the way... What I can do, instead of running through there, because that's obviously certain death, because there's that massive armored boar, I'm going to instead run through here, which will avoid the aggro of the boar entirely. Head up these stairs, where there will be some enemies. First and foremost is this guy, and 2 archers, which make life difficult. So I'm going to try and act between shots. I didn't act quick enough. Whew, trying to avoid being shot. Alright, I didn't get shot. That's nice. Now these guys aren't too bad to take out, now that I'm up close to them. Now you see, these guys are taking more hits. I have, progressed farther into the area, so the enemies are going to be a little bit stronger. And this guy's coming up to meet me. I saw him from down there. Come on, bud. There you go. And yeah. So they're taking 3 hits now, which is not pleasant. Alright. So, I didn't even see what that guy dropped. I wasn't paying attention. But if we look at this, Alluring Skull. So if we read that, it says... A skull with meekly lingering souls throw to shatter and spread souls to attract certain types of enemies. Souls are a concentration of life, and the life-starved hollows are lured by its power, not effective for all enemies. How convenient is it that these skulls are placed here just above this boar, where there happens to be some fire? I choose to believe that was an intentional choice by the people who made this game. That they put the skulls here because they knew that fighting this boar at this low level is going to be a nightmare. What you can do instead, however, is use these skulls that we just picked up, give one a toss, right there onto the fire. The boar gets attracted to it, and he burns himself. Where are you going? Is he trying to run over to me? I have never seen that before. Well, I just kind of wasted a skull there. What usually happens is you throw the skull, he runs in the fire and burns to death. He did that for a moment, and then he ran away. That's so odd. Maybe my aim was slightly off. Let's try that again, shall we? Go get it. Why is he going so slow? You're really making this difficult for me, aren't you? Am I gonna have to use another one of these? Come on, man. I only got 4 of them. Okay, that's bad. That's very bad. Where's that guy coming from? Oh, gosh. I cannot believe I fell off of there. What? The board just died. Oh, man. See, of course all this crazy stuff is happening now. Not at any other point, but no, now. I mean, I guess, whatever. He's dead. What happened? Did he run into the fire again? That's the only thing I can think of. Stuff that I've never seen before. is occurring. What can you do? Well, regardless, he's out of the way. So we can proceed. One of the jerks that was down here earlier shut this portcullis so I can't get through. So I'll have to go around this way. But that's fine. So we'll have some... What are you doing? Yeah, you only took one, did you? So that guy was trying to lead me into a trap. Or was he? Dude, the enemy placement is so weird right now. I think it's because I've been standing there for too long talking. Kind of got the enemies a little bit out of place where they're supposed to be. What's supposed to happen here? There's only supposed to be one hollow in that hallway, and he leads you into here. And there's additional hollows on either side of this door, and they get you from behind. But I guess me standing around too much is getting everyone confused, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh my... He fell on my head? How did that hit me? It's so nice to have heal, because I can use that without having to waste a flask if I'm just down a little bit of health. That's cool. I've never really used Faith before, so I'm very interested. Which is why I wanted to use it. Stupid table. Mystery key. The purpose of this key is unknown. It appears to be a basic prison cell key. Oh gosh, I have some gas in my chest. Alright. Heading up the ladder. Hello, sirs. I just recently played through Dark Souls 2 because I would like... Oh wait, I forgot about that item. After playing this game for the first time and loving it so much, I then decided to play through the whole series in the order that they came out. So this game, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and then Elden Ring, finally. So after completing this game for the second time, I then moved on to Dark Souls 2, which is the game that I last completed. And let me tell you, after having just played that game and going into this game, the enemy placement in this game is so much nicer. Like, I honestly feel like Dark Souls 2 hates you. Dark Souls 1 wants to challenge you and see you do well. Dark Souls 2 actively wishes for your demise. Come out here so I can hit you. Oh, he's strong. I knew this guy was a toughie, but I didn't think he would absorb that much damage. Here, can we get out here? We have a little bit more space. Backstab? Yes. Nice. He's still alive though. That didn't kill him. Almost did. Don't you dare heal on my watch. Nice. Night Shield. I imagine this will be an upgrade. This medium metal shield is elegantly carved and painted. Although it is thought to have been used by ancient knights of the nobility, its defense capabilities are similar to other shields. However, it does have 100% physical damage reduction, whereas this wooden shield only has 93. You can see that they're on the right. So essentially what that means is, whenever I block an attack with this shield, the wooden one, I receive 7% of the damage from that blow, which is pretty good. But this one I receive none. It is quite a bit heavier, though. How's my equip load? Oh, it's fine. Yeah, we're fine. I am now to a mid-roll, which I guess this is a good time to explain that. Because, hey, why not stand around somewhere? So, you see how I'm rolling, alright? Well, if I took off this shield, and I rolled again, See, that animation's different there. And that all has to do with, if you see there on the right, underneath HP and stamina, it says equip load, 11 out of 50. So the roll animation that you get is directly tied to that that ratio. What makes that number go up is the equipment that you have equipped. So I took that shield off. It was here, I took it off. And so my equip load went down. So you see all these different numbers under these shields. If you look, the one on the far right, that's their weight. This wooden shield weighs 1. This knight shield weighs 5. 1.5, 5.5. Equipping the knight shield increases my equip load from 12.5 to 16.5, right? So the way that this works is if your equip load, the ratio, is below 25%, you get what's called a fast roll or a light roll, which is this, okay? And you also move faster just in general, and you get the quickest, fastest roll animation. If your equip load is above 25% but below 50%, you get what's called a mid-roll or a medium roll, which is like this, and you move slightly slower. This is the medium roll. Okay? And I don't know if I could even do it to myself, but no, I don't think there's anything I could equip. Well, anyway, if your equip load ratio is above 50%, you get what's called a heavy roll or a fat roll, which I'll probably be able to show you later, but it's not the best. What this affects, however, is the number of invincibility frames that you get while rolling. So rolling isn't just used to dodge things. It also has this property called invincibility frames. So while you're in your roll animation, you're invincible. You cannot be damaged while you're rolling. And the lighter your roll, the longer time you have being invincible. So with a light roll, which is what I'm in right now, as you see, because my equip load is under 25%, I get the most amount of invincibility whenever I roll. And then medium roll, slightly less, and fat roll, less than that. So it's useful to have an equip load that isn't too heavy, because that significantly affects how effective your rolling is. Because being able to flat out not take damage from an attack that would otherwise hit you, but doesn't do damage to you because you're doing a roll, is incredibly useful, especially against bosses. It doesn't come into play as much when you're just going through areas fighting normal enemies, but against bosses, it starts to really make a big difference, because you can roll through their attacks. Not roll away from them, roll through them. Hello, sir. There we go, knock you out. I'm not doing very much damage right now. These guys are taking a lot of hits. Backstab. Basement key. Opens the narrow passage leading below at the far face of the great bridge in Undead Burg. The The lower Undead Burg is a treacherous place. Do not turn your back on the wily thieves or the wild dogs who serve the Capra demon. Cool. So if you look through here, this portcullis, I'm now right on the other side of where I had my altercation with the boar. So if I drop this, I can lift this up. And right through here is where the boar was and all that went down. So cool. Opened up a little opening through there, which is nice. I have an item here. Halberd. Long-hilted weapon mixing spear and axe is difficult to handle, requiring both strength and dexterity. The halberd has 2 elementary attacks, spear-like thrusting, and large sweeping swings. However, one false swing and the wielder is left wide open. So, this goes back into what I was saying earlier. If we look at the halberd, you see its required parameters are 16 strength, 12 dexterity. I don't have either of those. So if I try and wield it, you'll be able to see what I was talking about. I'm blind. So it says, unable to wield this weapon effectively. But I can still wield it. Let's see what kind of negative damage modifier. I'm having 89 lower damage because of this. Because I can't wield it right. But not only that, watch what happens if I try and swing it. Oh, look at that. My guy is not strong enough to swing this weapon. I can't do it. Nope. See, it threw me completely off balance there. So, in order to use this properly, I need to get my stats higher. I'm glad I was able to demonstrate that. So instead of heading through there, because there's spooky stuff through there, I'm going to head over here, because there's something that I want to grab first. So this is where I just came from. Head across this rickety bridge. Hello, guys. Oh! Goodness. That was a timely roll. Got you out. How about you? Oh, yeah. You're out of here. What'd you drop? Hollow Soldier Helm. Let's kill this guy and then I'll read that. Three hits, really? Wow. Alrighty. Oh, okay, that's what I picked up earlier. I didn't realize. Helm worn by hollow soldiers. It may be old and battered, but its iron construction makes it quite sturdy. It is wise to wear a sturdy form of head protection against arrows and other physical threats. Good to know. So, in through there is right back into that, the opening of this church that I was looking at earlier. That's right through there. It goes into the same cathedral, just into the side. But if I head down this way, as I approach, you'll start to hear a welcoming, I'll put it, it's a welcoming banging sound. There it is. Which can only mean one thing. Heading down this way, we can grab a bonfire, which is greatly appreciated. I can have a rest at that. Ah, that's nice. And heading down to where that sound is emanating from, we have this beautiful man.
Well, you must be a new arrival. I'm Andre of Astora. If you require smithing, then speak to me.
So this guy's our blacksmith. So here we can reinforce and repair our weapons and armor, which is fantastic. It's got a gesture for us, I'll take that. Let's reinforce my weapon, shall we? Because we're not doing an amazing amount of damage. So you see up the top right, it costs a Titanite shard, which we have one of, and 200 souls in order to make this mace into a mace +1. I will gladly do that. There we go. So now the base damage of this mace went from 91 to 100. and the bonus damage from the scaling goes on top of that. So, excellent. What else do you have to say?
Most weapons and armor are mighty sturdy indeed, but every hunk of metal has its breaking point. If you notice durability running low, it's time to repair. You can ask a blacksmith like myself, or do it on your own with a grindstone. The nice thing about weapons, they never betray you, so pay them a little respect, eh?
Sounds like a good philosophy.
There are two types of weapon forging. There's reinforcement and there's ascension. Reinforcement is simple. It strengthens the weapon and nothing more. A simple task for any blacksmith. Hell, you could even do it yourself with a smith box. But ascension's a finer art. It alters a weapon's properties. Ascension is the territory of we blacksmiths. A smith box just won't do the trick. Start out with reinforcement. When that loses its charm, you can consider ascension. As you've noticed, this land is flush with the mad and wicked. You won't make it through the night without employing my services.
People in this game are always laughing whenever you talk to them. You'll get to see the Ascension in action a bit later, whenever I have the ability to do it. Anything else to say?
You can forge armor just like you do weapons. Forging armor is even easier than forging weapons. Whether you forge weapons or armor first, well, that's up to you. But nobody wants to see you go hollow. So whatever you do, you'd better do it well.
Amen to that, brother. Anything else? No.
Forge it, whether you
Alright.
nobody wants, so whatever you
Good talking to you.
get yourself killed. Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
So heading down this way is an area that we don't want to go into quite yet, but I will just peek down the stairs, give you a little taste. Big spooky guy, so yeah. Won't be going down there quite yet. So instead, in this room with the bonfire, there's another path which leads to this giant fortress. And you can just make it out there to the bottom left of that gate. There's a peculiar looking man here. Let's speak to him, shall we?
Oh, forgive me. I was absorbed in thought. I am Siegmeyer of Katarina. Quite honestly, I've run flat up against a wall, or a gate, I should say. The thing just won't budge, no matter how long I wait. And oh, have I waited. So here I sit, in quite a pickle, weighing my options, so to speak.
What a kind onion.
Still closed. Still closed. Still closed. Still.
Well, sorry buddy, but yeah, this thing's quite closed. You have to figure that one out. So yeah, we can't go in there. This guy's trying to get in there, can't get in, so must be for later. Alright, let's head back to that glorious glowing bonfire. We can have a rest, and we can level up. Let's see, we can do it twice. I'm thinking, let me get my dexterity up to 10. I feel like that'd be useful for using some things. And let's go vitality again, get some extra health. Beautiful. Okay. So I think this is a good time now. If you look at the top left, you see that number 2. If you've been observant, you've been seeing that number change. It started at 0, then it went to 1 at some point, and now it's gone up to 2. That number represents my humanity. And I have these items here. Used to gain 1 humanity. So if I use this, one of them, that number would go from 2 to 3. And you gain humanity as well just from progressing through the game. What humanity is used for is, well, a couple of things. One of them, which you're about to see just now, is used to do this here. I can reverse my hollowing. So my character, my poor undead character, it's out of his control. He's going to go hollow, but I can reverse hollowing, which will kind of slow that process. You can only do that if you have at least 1 humanity in that top left corner, right? So if I click this, it'll say offer humanity and reverse hollowing. So if I click yes, humanity restored. And now you see that number in the top left has gone down to 1 because I spent one of the 2 humanities, and now it has a white background behind it instead of gray. That is because I'm now human. I'm no longer in my undead, hollowed state. You see there? So that's the character that we created, if you can remember. So that just means that you're human whenever it's white up there. One thing that you can do while you're human, which is mighty useful, if I rest again, I can kindle. You can only kindle a bonfire while you're human. If you're not human, it'll say that you can't kindle while you're hollowed. But since I'm human, I can kindle, and you offer humanity. So you have to be human, and you have to have at least 1 in the top left, which we meet both those requirements, so I can hit yes. So now that number is back to 0, but it's still white because I'm still human. The flame at this bonfire has grown slightly higher, and the effect that had might not be obvious, but if you look down at my Estus flask, I now have 10 of those. Which means that every time I rest or come back to life at this bonfire, I will get 10 Estus flasks instead of 5. So every time you reach a new bonfire, unless it has been pre-kindled, which there are a few of those, but whenever you find a new bonfire, it will start out unkindled, which means every time you rest at them or respawn from them, you only have 5 Estus flasks. And that was the case of those other 2 bonfires that I didn't kindle, that I came across. But now that I've kindled this one, I have 10 instead of 5. I've doubled my amount of healing, which is fantastic. So with that, I guess it's time to proceed.